G'day, how you going?
Good, Gav. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Nice to see a little bit of sunshine.
Good to hear, mate. Market's been interesting. We've sort of had a couple of sort of positive days, but maybe a little bit of a negative sort of theme coming in.
Yeah, I think those valuations is looking very stretched, and with economy still performing pretty well around the world, I think the expectations of interest rate cuts might be just taking a bit of heat out of it. Be interesting to see how the next few days pans out, actually.
Yeah, those CPI numbers we got earlier this week, I think probably take November's rate move maybe off the table for now.
Yeah, I think
Time
you're
will
right.
tell, but I think she'll
Right.
hold back. I don't think she's aggressive at cutting rates, Michelle Bullock. I think she'll be very slow and sort of just take a sort of educated play at it rather than sort of bowing to our treasurer's desires.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, if the numbers don't support it, I can't see it changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Well, let's get into the ideas we had for this week. I think the first one we have on is Woodside, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll just get it open up here and there we go. It should be showing up there now. So yeah, Woodside.
No, we've got Woolies, I think, first.
Yeah, Woodside's there.
There's Woodside. Fantastic, mate. Righto. Well, look, Woodside's an interesting one. With the bid for Santos being pulled, Woodside share price had a bit of a collapse. Really, it's sort of fallen maybe 10 or 6 or 7% certainly. On the back of a deal in another stock falling apart. So I think a little bit a bit overdone, and we sort of feel that Woodside's starting to represent pretty good value. Oil's maintained a reasonable level, and with the currency where it is, the Aussie dollar equivalent price that they're getting is still pretty attractive. So we feel maybe selling a put under Woodside around that 23.50 level would be a great sort of strike to target, and some pretty nice sort of premium available there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you haven't got it as part of your portfolio, it's not a bad entry point. I mean, the reason interest rates aren't dropping is because economies are good. Economies are good means they're using energy. So I think it's if you haven't got it, it's a good time to get into it.
Yeah, and I think also, if we look at you needing to have some exposure to the energy sector, Santos has probably been proven by these couple of takeover bids that haven't gone ahead to
Yeah.
maybe be a stock that it's just not quite there, that the numbers don't quite line up for
Yeah.
a big investment from an offshore player. So Woodside sort of stands out as the dominant sort of oil investment in this country, I think.
Yeah, totally agree. I was looking at Woolworths. If you look at its chart, it's been really beaten up over the last little while. I mean, there's only really a couple of supermarket players in Australia. All the price targets are much higher than where it is now. Even the lowest estimate's higher than where it is at the moment. There's no sell recommendations. They're hold or buy. I think if you're looking to get in at around this price and you're patient, selling puts around that 26.50, I think you're going to get around 26 cents depending on where it's priced when you look at it. Not a bad sort of premium and a good price to be getting into it. I think you might have to be a little bit patient. Like I don't think you're going to get a huge jump in the share price in the next 2 or 3 months, but over a 12-month, 2-year period, you'd have to think it'll come back and do very well given the amount of time they're spending in reforming that organisation.
Yeah, look, definitely, and I think changes to their distribution systems, they can certainly tighten that up. And that issue they had with the underpayment of staff seems to be dealt with. Governments like to sort of take a shot at the company as though they've done it on purpose, but it certainly wouldn't have been something they set out to do on purpose. And
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
they've already put a lot of money away to fix the problem.
Yeah,
So I do think in time the market will start to realise that and
yeah,
probably start to buy back into the company.
I think you're right. I totally agree. And the last one,
Yeah, our final one was BHP calls. BHP's had a great run up the last couple of days. Some big moves in the copper price have seen a move for both BHP and Rio. And so we sort of feel BHP probably getting up towards the top end of its range. I don't think there's much potential bit to crack through 43. So look at the idea of selling some covered calls for those that own the stock. And I ran some numbers just quickly. The $43 call for October, you could sell that for around about 55 cents. So if you've got some stock, it's a nice bit of premium to get for the
mm,
next 3 weeks. And if you wanted to be a bit more conservative out to November, a 44.50 call is going to also give you 55 cents a premium. So, if you've got exercise on those, you're losing the stock at over $45. I think most of us are pretty happy to sell our BHP shares up at those levels.
yeah, I agree. And if you look at the short-term technicals on it, it's looking a little bit stretched, particularly today. It's jumped again today. It's up another 1.5% the last time I looked. And yeah, I think this would be a fantastic income trade.
yeah, definitely selling into that strength is probably a great idea. So
Yeah.
something I'll be looking at for my own holdings, and I think clients should definitely have a look at it.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks, Coach, and talk again in a week's time or so.
Right, mate. Enjoy the grand final. We'll talk soon.
There you go, Cats.